The silence of the house was shattered by a piercing scream. It was sharp and jagged, like the sound of glass breaking in slow motion. Lily appeared in the doorway of her room, clutching an empty jewelry box, her face contorted with disbelief and pain. "She took everything, Mom!" she cried, her voice trembling with betrayal. My stomach twisted with a sickening feeling. I knew without a doubt that Emma, her sister, had crossed a line we might never be able to erase. The atmosphere in the room grew dense with tension as I turned toward Emma. Her eyes were cast downward, avoiding mine, filled with guilt. She was 16, my eldest, the girl I had poured all my love and effort into raising. Yet standing before me now, she seemed like a stranger, one who had sold her sister's cherished possessions for a handful of cash. That night, I made the hardest decision of my life. I packed her things, handed her a suitcase, and told her to leave. It hadn't always been like this. Our home used to be full of laughter, the girls running through the hallways, their voices merging in a melody of sibling love. Lily at 14 had always been the dreamer. Her room was a testament to her passions, with sketches pinned to the walls and that jewelry box, filled with delicate pieces she had saved for years, a symbol of her hopes and determination. Each piece of jewelry, each ring, each necklace had been a milestone, a token of her love. They were tangible pieces of her heart, always worn with pride. But Emma had changed over the last year. Her warmth had been replaced with a coldness, a distance that I couldn't close. Late nights, unaccounted for, became a regular occurrence. I blamed myself, wondering if I had been too consumed with work, too distant to notice the signs. Had my long hours at the office pushed her into this? The real shock came when I found the pawn shop receipt, crumpled in the pocket of her jacket. It was undeniable. The betrayal was real. I had to confront her. When I did, her defenses crumbled. Tears streamed down her face. "I needed the money," she snapped, but her voice trembled, betraying the lie. "For what?" I asked, my heart racing. She didn't respond, only muttered something about friends and stuff, a vague explanation that only deepened the confusion. I felt the urge to shake her, to force the truth from her, but all I could see was a girl slipping further away from me. Lily's sobs echoed through the house, each one a dagger to my heart. I couldn't let this fracture our family even more. I had to do something, anything, to make things right. But where did I even begin? The decision hit me like a wave, sudden and relentless. I picked up Sarah's backpack and began stuffing it with clothes and shoes. My hands trembled as I packed, a sense of dread weighing heavily on me. "You can't stay here," I said, my voice steady but strained. Her eyes filled with shock, and panic began to settle in. "No, Mom, please," she pleaded, but I remained unmoved. The ground beneath me felt unstable, as if everything was falling apart. I drove her to her aunt's house, a small town over an hour away. The car was silent, the atmosphere thick with tension. The rain poured down, blurring the road as I stopped in front of the house. "This is for you to figure out who you really are," I told her, my voice barely above a whisper. She grabbed her bag, stepping out into the rain, and I watched her figure disappear into the night. My chest tightened, my heart breaking with each step she took. The days that followed were a blur of regret and sorrow. Megan tried to understand, but her trust in Sarah was gone, irreparably broken. The small trinkets Sarah had left behind became constant reminders of everything we had lost. I spent hours questioning myself, wondering if I had been too harsh, too unforgiving. I could have handled this differently, but I understood that Emma needed to face the consequences of her actions. My sister called every day, reassuring me that Emma was selling, but she was safe. Slowly, she started helping with chores and opening up. She admitted that the money had gone to a friend in need, a desperate attempt to fit in. It didn't excuse her actions, but it gave me a glimpse of the girl I once knew, hidden beneath the weight of her mistakes. As weeks turned into months, Emma began to change. She found a job, saved some money, and bought Lily a new necklace. It wasn't to replace the old one, but as a quiet gesture of apology. When she came home to visit, the atmosphere was thick with unspoken words, but Lily embraced her, tears in both of their eyes. It wasn't forgiveness, not yet, but it was a beginning. I watched them, my daughters, and for the first time in a long while, I felt a flicker of hope. Sometimes love means stepping back, trusting that those you care about will find their way back. Emma's journey was now her own, but I would always be here, waiting, holding on to the belief in the woman she could become. It wasn't about fixing her, it was about letting her grow. And in that I found a kind of peace.